Good thing none of that was in the movie. Psych! Hello, and welcome back to another midnight showing. I'm sure we just blew out your speakers. We just got out of The Killing Joke, a limited release that we actually got here in St. George.
Yeah, it's... Dude, I had such a long week this week. I was literally watching the clock more to get out of work to go to this because I was excited.
And it was the, and now that you have this happy ending, I'm sure you feel better.
Yeah, a little bit.
Unfortunately, that's not hyperbole.
Yeah, I would have liked a darker ending. I expected it to be dark, and it gave me what I wanted.
Yeah.
In that ending.
All in all, this is a great film. Probably not the best adaptation they could ever do, but you know what? Considering that they actually took advantage of their R rating, unlike, say, Batman v Superman, yeah, it's still saying something. This is by far the better work, but this movie was still good.
Yeah.
I'd rent it. I would actually go ahead and buy this one. It's worth buying. Yes, before we get into the spoilers, do you have anything to add there?
The first third, I could have done without. I'm still not sure what I thought about that.
Yeah, the first third, you understand why it was there, though. It was for those idiots. let's just call them that. They're the idiots in the audience, so they could actually, you know, oh, so that's who Batgirl is. Oh, I'm sorry. I know this character's been around for 70 years, but you know what? I didn't pay attention.
She has her own comic now.
Oh,
I don't know who she is.
She's had plenty of her own comics.
Yeah.
Hell, there was an entire Oracle run. Hell, in the 90s, there was a TV show based on this called Birds of Prey. They open with the fucking Killing Joke. But yeah, it's just there to establish the character, so I don't really hold it against the movie. Except for one part, but I told you about that.
That one part.
Yeah, we're going into spoilers now. My final recommendation is that when it comes out next week on Blu-ray, buy it. It's worth it. You won't be disappointed.
If it's coming to your town, if it has already come to your town, go
What
see
are you doing?
it.
Go watch it.
Go.
It's only going to be there for like a day or two.
We'll wait here. We'll wait here for the next few hours.
It's fine. Fine.
You
Go ahead.
get something to eat. Make a day of it.
Yeah,
we'll wait.
There's no AC in the car, so it's perfectly fine.
I'm not working tomorrow. I can stay here all night.
I gotta work tomorrow. Damn it. Okay, so now we're gonna go into the spoiler section. So, if you haven't read this, this is your story, and it does stick to this very well.
Yeah.
Although it does take a lot of the nuance away, and it. Well, let's be honest. This came out in what, 89, 88, 89?
Really?
I'm pretty sure it was like 80 or 89. So it's not exactly, you know, and people have redone this so many times with the Arkham Knight being the latest edition of it. I mean, this story has been done a lot. So if you don't know what happened inside here, it means that you've never seen a Batman production. In which case, hello and welcome to your introduction. It's probably not the best choice, but definitely the most psychological.
Yep. They did something like this, now that I'm remembering, in the 2007 iteration on the Kids WB, The Batman. It was an introduction to Clayface, where the Joker is robbing banks with what he calls Joker putty. And it's like this fluid that turns anything like pliable, so he could like open the safes or whatever. And one of the detectives, that's one of the main characters in this story that we've been introduced to. It's him and like a girl played by Ming-Na Wen, who did the voice for Mulan, which is really interesting because I was actually looking this up on IMDb not too long ago.
Yeah,
he breathes in the fumes, and his skin starts to like melt, and he basically becomes the first Clayface. Later on, I say the first because later on in like the 5th season,
a second Clayface. They cure the detective and put him inside of a mental hospital.
Yeah, it's basically the Clayface that you knew. He's like a failed actor who always chokes on stage or whatever, and then he gets a hold of the Joker putty, and he's only in there like twice that I can remember.
Yeah,
but yeah, that he gives the speech Because it implies that the Joker knows that he breathed it in and what it's going to turn him into. And he basically recites the whole, you have that one bad day.
And that's the whole concept of this, is that the Joker wants to prove that everyone's just like him. Yeah, Dark Knight, go ahead and make your little comment about it, but this is done better and more thoroughly than that. He's not just trying to... He's not just giving people the keys to a bomb. He's literally torturing this guy, trying to force him to twist on it. Which, yeah, my little secret. I don't like this story. Like, at all. I don't. It's great. It's psychological. It's like the one thing I should like. But you know what? I hate it. I really do. Sorry, Alan Moore. But when you torture women to motivate your men, it doesn't really please me very much. I'll give you this one credit. It actually had the balls to go with a dark ending and actually leave it pretty open as to what the hell happened, unlike this movie. And that's one thing. There's two major changes in this movie. The first third, to reintroduce it, does establish why Batman went to the asylum in page 1 of this. Let's just open this up here. Yeah, how it opens up with Batman inside of the asylum, you know, visiting the Joker and passing Harvey Two-Face crazy there. Yeah, the first third explains why he's there. He's having problems with his relationship with Barbara. Because they slept with each other. I am not exaggerating that. Like,
fan service.
Oh, not just fan service. This is like reminiscent of Catwoman's run on the New 52, where the thing, like, literally, her first issue ends with her and Batman getting down on a rooftop. Like, what the fuck did this? Where did this come from? Well, you've seen these guys. They've had a relationship before. Hell, the Batman animated series established them having a relationship. Yeah. And inside of your new rebooted universe, issue 1, Batman is fucking a criminal. Inside of this one, you know, there's pent-up rage and emotion against it, and oh god, it's just that whole sequence just, oh, I hate it. I really do. That's a really, really bad thing to put in this.
Yeah.
And, you know, the whole third with this guy named Paris Francisco. Yeah.
Paris Franz.
Paris Franz.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah, that's so subtle. And
they even called it out. Which is like...
even, you know, with how serious this fucking thing takes itself, the bad guy you decide to open your first third is named Paris Franz. Paris fucking Franz.
He's basically the nephew of a huge crime boss.
Was Danny no good not taken or something like that? Just seriously, what the fuck?
Yeah, the whole thing is him basically stealing from his uncle's resources to establish himself as a new crime boss, to the point he actually kills him.
Yeah, and starts a gang war. Excuse me. Starts a gang war. And the whole time, Batgirl is kind of pissed off that Bruce keeps sidelining her. Let's face it, Bruce is a dick. You know, Batman is a dick in any interpretation you want when it comes to his allies, because he never tells them anything. He just expects them to blindly follow him under all circumstances, and frankly speaking, he abuses them. He even in non-Frank Miller related stuff, Bruce really does abuse them. I mean, hell, the start of the run, Grayson, literally starts with Batman beating the living shit out of Dick in order to get him to fight back and then beat the living shit back. But at the same time, there's an abuse here. There is a lot of abuse inside of the Bat family. And, you know, Barbara's kind of sick of that.
Yeah.
She tries to take the initiative. She makes mistakes and Bruce rubs her face in it. And they end up getting in fights with each other, which ends with Barbara sleeping with him in some back alley. God damn it.
Her fighting him, I don't mind. She's supposed to be a strong female character. and she wants to be thought of more as like a sidekick.
Well, she doesn't want to be thought as a sidekick. She wants to be thought as a partner.
Yeah.
And which they aren't even subtle about that. Yes, we are partners, but we are not equal. And like, okay, no, you're not partners. You're not fucking partners. She's your trainee at best. I'm sorry, but that's like teamwork number one. If you're partners, you're equal. If there's a leader inside of this, and the buck does stop there, then they're clearly they're not really partners. She's your sidekick. You have to establish that. And you can't have it both ways, Bruce. Granted, I get what he's going for. He doesn't want her to come across that abyss, as he calls it. Again, very subtle. You know, I like that line better when it was on Crisis of Two Earths. The animated film, not the comic, but you have Batman fighting Owlman of the crime syndicate, his evil doppelganger.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, we are the same. Right as he's like, they're having the battle, and Owlman's suit is basically Iron Man. And they're having their battle. Bruce starts finally getting the upper hand. And instantly, Owlman realizes that. And right as he does, Bruce starts smiling, you know, we are the same. You know? And right as he's about to throw the explosive batarang that's gonna send him and his bomb to another parallel reality, saving all reality in existence, it's like, you and I both looked at the abyss, but when you looked into it, you blinked. You know, that was awesome. This is, I get what he's going for, and he wants to protect her, but she came into this line of work knowing what the fuck was the deal. Her dad is the commissioner, for God's sake. How much shit has he talked about, and how much shit has he brought home that she's had to deal with?
Exactly.
She knows this. Yes, she hasn't actually crossed that bridge yet, and protecting her from it just seems kind of illogical at this point. Helping her along it would be a much better choice, but once again, Batman has a problem with having a relationship.
Yeah.
And yeah, it ends with them having sex, and then bad shit happens, and she ends up quitting Batgirl before the events of this, which that also kind of pisses me off. Yeah, I get it. I get it. But one of the things that makes this comic memorable is the fact they didn't tell the writer of Batgirl at the time that they were doing that to his character. They didn't. He found out by reading this fucking thing. And it was technically in continuity. Even though the ambiguous ending as to whether or not Batman kills the Joker was basically resolved by, oh, he didn't kill him, he took him in. But at the same time, you know, so what does he do? What does the writer do? I don't know if it was a he or she at the time. Sorry, I keep using gender-specific pronouns. They build off of it. They took a bad situation and showed this character grow out of it into Oracle, who is by far one of the most badass things DC ever introduced into their comic line, and even into their TV series. But no, she quit being Batgirl. She quit, so it's not like we completely destroyed a character. We didn't. It's fine. Fuck you. So, yeah, the first third has some moments inside of it that piss you off. I get why it's there, but it does lessen it. You can basically just skip it and go straight into the actual Killing Joke stuff, because it never gets referenced again. And the narration basically told you that was all it was there for, you know. This isn't the story. This isn't how you thought the story was going to start. This isn't it. This is what you need to know this. And then when the first third ends, like that was it. It was a new time for me. I was beginning. Little did I know, a week later, things got really dark.
How long was that rant? Holy cow.
God,
almost as long as that first third.
Probably, because that does piss me off. It legitimately pisses me off. And you wanna know who else is gonna get fucking pissed off? Alan goddamn Moore. I guarantee you, if he ever actually fucking watches this animated film, which he might, I know that he doesn't like his adaptations, like, at all. After V for Vendetta, he basically said he doesn't want his name on anything ever again. And when Watchmen came out, he said give his money to the other writer. What was his name? God damn it. But yeah, even though that adaptation really wasn't that far off from the comic, just a little more sexy.
V for Vendetta?
No. Well, a little bit. That's probably what pissed him off. But Watchmen. It's not a bad adaptation, even though I don't necessarily like it. That's like a theme with Alan Moore stuff.
We should sit down and watch that. My brother told me not to see it at the time.
It's a hard sit. It's a hard sit for a few reasons. I don't like the story of Watchmen either. Shocker. But it's not a bad movie or even a bad adaptation of the work. It's just they over-violenced it and sexed it up, and then they kind of screwed the ending over. They removed the ambiguity of it. You know, Rorschach's journal. He delivers it off to a newspaper organization, but in the movie you clearly see that they grab it and they're going to run the story, which is going to ruin Mondius's plan. But in the book, it was just sitting there, and it's left open as to whether or not anyone will ever find it. You know, ambiguity.
One rant at a time.
Yes, one rant at a time. That's for another day. Getting on to this one, I mean, the art style in the movie, they tried to find a good balance between what's animatable and what's drawn.
Yeah.
And honestly, this is the more artistic of them, just from the sheer art of it, and it worked better for this. In the movie, there were some moments that were just amazing. Like when he's sitting there with the Joker in the cell, and the Joker's just sitting there playing the cards. The shadows on the Joker's face.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so beautiful. It was so beautiful, and Kevin Conroy delivered that monologue perfectly. Context has changed because of the first third, but
yeah. If you don't know who Kevin Conroy is, if you don't know the voices, these are the original people from the 90s animated series from Warner Brothers. I said it in our audience reaction, but Kevin Conroy as Batman, Bruce Wayne, and Mark Hamill, aka Luke Skywalker,
as Joker.
As the Joker.
And honestly, he's the Joker. There is no comparison here.
Yeah.
As much as that documentary that we saw.
Old Jack Nicholson made it his own, and I can hear a little bit of everything in the blender from Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
Definitely the laugh.
He got the laugh, I think, more from the guy from the Adam West stuff. But his mannerisms and his things, he got more from the Mark Hamill Joker. In my opinion.
The one from Adam West, his name was Cesar Romero.
Cesar Romero, yeah.
Cesar Romero.
Yeah, and they came back and they did a great job.
Yeah.
Just praise the hell almighty out of the Joker and Batman in this, because Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill, they knocked it out of the fucking park.
Probably, I think I heard a quote from them, like, they became best friends through this. Because so they could, like, every episode they recorded together, where it was Batman versus the Joker, they sat in the same room so they could deliver their lines, and it felt more natural, like they're actually face to face. And
I can absolutely see that.
Exactly.
Joker's here. Don't worry. Oh, don't do that. It's fine.
Another one of my...
I can do a decent Mark Hamill. I need to work on it, but I can do a decent Mark Hamill.
A huge thing for me as a kid, well, I don't know if it was a comic book, was I got really into Batman Beyond as a kid. And a lot of people would say otherwise. I actually knew a girl who didn't like it, even though Bruce is in it. She says that it's not Bruce Wayne.
Oh, it's just him ascending to the role of actual teacher this time.
Yeah.
You know, they're actually kind of doing the same thing in DC.
It was the late 90s, early 2000s, and everything had to be younger and edgier, and they pulled it off. It's a really good series. Don't marathon it like I did, because you may get burnout on it.
Yeah.
But holy crap. Even the guy who played Terry McGinnis was Will Friedle, who played the older brother Eric in Boy Meets World. And he's very much a comedian.
Yes, he is.
He's a comedy actor. He even played the voice of young Cypher in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Didn't he also do Unstoppable?
Yes.
Yes, he did.
He's really good at comedy. But in something like this, for the longest time, I didn't know who it was until IMDb became a thing, and I got my iPhone 5. 6, 5.
Yeah,
And it blows me away that he can do... And then Return of the Joker happened. And it's, for me, I think it was like the first time before the Arkham games that Mark Hamill came back as the Joker. And it is amazing, because Batman Beyond is a spin-off, kind of a spin-off series from the animated series. And Bruce Timm did it. And Kevin Conroy comes back as an old Bruce Wayne. And he's fought pretty much every... We've seen references to Bane in training montages.
Yes.
He's fighting either like holograms or robots of other people, or people who have worked with him, or have worked with other villains, or are trying to become the new one. And he fights a roving gang of Jokers. And there is a reference to the actual Joker in the very first episode.
Yes, there was.
And for this to come... It came on TV. It was edited. And then a few years later, they released the unedited version. And then I bought it for like $10 in DVD.
I still need to buy it on Blu-ray.
And it's...
I'm going to.
It is amazing.
It is amazing.
I really love it.
It's probably better than this movie. Titling this back to the Killing Joke.
I'm sorry, I had to.
I know. I went on my little compulsive rant. Oh god, the Killing Joke is a very, very controversial but great piece of work, and this movie might not do it full justice because of the limitations of animation versus the limitations of book. This is the best comic that I think a comic could possibly be. This is one of those tiers that you have to strive for. The movie, as the directors and the music composers said, try to add their own spin to it. You know, they tried to do it justice, but they wanted to make their own mark on it. And those own marks can be contradicting. So, probably should get to the final big thing. This does not have... the movie has a happy ending. This doesn't. This doesn't have a happy ending. It's ambiguous as to whether or not the Batman killed the Joker. It's very ambiguous. And although that's basically said, no, he didn't. But, again, the comic is so well written that you legitimately don't know. The movie, not as subtle. And it actually does look like he does kill them. They do the famous last joke. Joker. So there are these two guys inside a mental asylum. And they find that they don't really like the mental asylum anymore. So they decide to escape together. And then they get to the roof and see a wide expanse of rooftops leading to their freedom. First guy jumps over to the next rooftop. And he says, come on, just jump, it'll be fine. No, I can't do that, he says. Okay, I have an idea. I have this flashlight, you see. I'll turn it on, and you'll just walk across the beam to the other side. What, are you crazy? You'll just turn the thing off when I'm halfway across.
It took the audience a second to actually get that.
Yeah, and then of course, just like this, Batman starts laughing. And then you see him put his hands on the Joker's shoulder, and the camera pans down as they're both laughing. Then the Joker stops laughing, and we slowly fade to black.
No.
And then credits! Oh my god! They did the ending correctly! They did the ending! Then it comes back on. Because we have to see Barbara ascend to her new role as Oracle. Because everything's gonna be okay. Talking about those new spins that the creators put on things. Yeah. That one right there.
Also, I have to say this. Kevin Conroy, as Batman, should not laugh. Because it is terrifying. Last time I heard that, again, was with The Return of the Joker.
When he was poisoned with...
When the Joker gasses him. It is fucking terrifying.
Yeah. And this movie doesn't cut away from the terrifying stuff. The horrible imagery, it actually does do full on. I mean, he could have gone a little bit further by actually having the nudity, but it never felt needed. They got it close enough that you got the picture and they didn't need to be horribly sexual with it. It's not supposed to be. And that's probably better for it. But, God, that ending, you just have to have the fucking happy ending. And no, you can't have the happy ending. This is the fucking Killing Joke! Of all of the goddamn books that you have to change, you give this one the happy ending. This one! Yeah, that's gonna piss you off. If you are a hardcore comic book fan, if you are a purist, you will hate this movie. You will absolutely hate this movie. If you're just looking for something psychological that's gonna entertain you, you're gonna probably think this is okay. So yeah, that's it. All I gotta say on it. My final verdict is go buy it. Just go buy it.
Go buy it. It's highly recommended. As much as he ranted about these things.
Yeah, as much as I rant about it, everything else they did amazing. I mean, it's two things that just piss me the fuck off.
We enjoyed ourselves thoroughly. This is very well done. It's fun to hear these quintessential voices that we grew up with in this more mature story.
Yes,
and
much more mature.
It's very rated R.
It is very rated R, and I'm glad that they actually got that rating.
It was advertised as the first rated R of these DC animated films that have been coming out since 2005 with Superman Doomsday.
Yeah, I think that was the first one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good film nonetheless. It just has some things that are going to piss you off, especially if you know about this.
Yes.
So
buy the comic.
Yes.
Buy the DVD, possibly the Blu-ray, the Steelbook. Get yourself the little Joker action figure.
Hell, if you go to Best Buy, they'll probably sell you this with the DVD inside. They've been doing that with all the other animated features lately.
Really?
Yeah. I've been wanting to rebuy a couple of them, so I was looking at those. But yeah, just go get those. Just buy it all. It's great. You're not going to be disappointed. It's dark. And this doesn't have a happy ending. But it has a thought-provoking ending. And that's the more important thing here. So, yeah.
Yeah. Buy that DVD. Buy Return of the Joker.
Yes.
You can watch the Batman on Netflix.
You could probably skip out on buying the Watchmen movie. But
you can buy the original series on DVD. I still need the second volume. Some for my birthday.
Okay.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
They get you a book. Alrighty. But, yeah, we should probably call it good, so...
So, yeah. We have an audience reaction video to go on to this.
That should be out before this one. But that one needs editing, this one doesn't, so...
Yeah.
We'll see.
Also,
I'll put the links in there.
I flubbed. I said, welcome to Midnight Screenings, which is actually Brad Jones's
Yeah, and
thing.
now he's going to sue us because of you. He's going to sue us.
Brad, if you
Jesus, bro. Go donate to Jesus, bro. How about that? I'll put a link for his Indiegogo in there so he doesn't sue us.
If you do watch this, I apologize. It's just such a great title. It just rolls off the tongue. I really like it.
So, yeah. Be sure to like me on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and follow me on Twitch.
Are you putting our links down?
Yeah, I'll put the links in
Good.
there. Links are all in the description below. And, yeah. I guess we'll see you all next time.
Yep.